Hi, Richard.
Hey, Carl. What's happening? Good morning.
This is crazy, but I still haven't figured out the Steelers.
I think, it's a little early, second game.
Yeah, right.
Little early to figure them out. But there's constants.
What are they?
Well, now I was going to ask you that. The constants to me are carryover from last year's problems to this year. I've walked the fence. I'm very respectful to Omar, very respectful to Mike Tomlin. I have not ever, had really any bad things to say about them because I believe in them. And there's a but coming.
Okay.
But I see things that potentially could be coaching issues, but not Mike. I'm looking hard at our defensive coordinator.
I agree to that. And when you say carry over, I'm surprised, not in a bad way, but actually in a good way. I don't see any of the carryover that's positive. Anything that I see that's carryover is something that needs to be improved.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't see any of the carryovers positive either. I really like Aaron Rodgers a lot. I like his demeanor. I've said that before. I like his demeanor. I like the fact that the players respect and follow him. We have a lot of talent. We really do. You have DK targeted only 4 or 5 times. He has 2 drops. What are the chances of a $150 million receiver, making that a pattern? That's fixed. I don't worry about that.
Okay.
I don't worry about Aaron Rodgers' ability to get him the ball. I worry about the offensive line, which is a carryover. And I worry about the defense, which is a carryover. I'm worried that we just get gashed right up the middle. And I don't like it. So
I would agree to that. And so how do you fix it though? Like, I still think there's some, I don't want to say growing pains, but there's sometimes you just sort of grow into the season and stuff fixes itself.
It does.
I don't know if that'll fix itself, and I'll tell you why. I think Roman Wilson and some of the other, I just think, I don't know if they're too small. I don't know if they don't come in and our inside linebackers seem to get pushed off the ball a lot. The Steelers inside linebackers do.
Yeah, and maybe, you might have something there. A little too small, maybe. I don't know. But I love the fact that they fly to the ball.
They do. It's one thing to fly to the ball. It's another thing to get a man down.
To make the tackle. Yeah.
Yes.
We're not finishing. And I think that's probably not a surprise, when they're reviewing tape. I didn't see Mike's press conference on Tuesday.
Very predictable. Got to get better. Got to do this. Got to do that. One thing he did say was, he's going to take the rookie off of kickoffs, and he might get a chance later on. Inexcusable mistake. And I think that's a microcosm, though, of Steeler debates. Like, that's a perfect one. Is that there's a lot of people doing somersaults and contorting themselves to not blame coaching at all with that situation.
Well, you can't have Danny Smith and praise him and, he's the greatest thing in the world, and then one mistake makes him the worst thing in the world.
You're right, but you can't praise him whenever the players perform well, and then he be totally without consequence whenever the players don't perform well.
Well, yes, I agree with that. I do agree with that. But what's the consequence? You don't fire him, obviously.
No, you don't fire him.
He's great. You remind him that, the importance and strategy. How do you coach Danny Smith? He's known as one of the best special teams coach in the league. But when you look at the stats, our special teams is 12th, right? And there's 32 teams.
But then there's another argument. And it's been the argument, like the Belichick argument for when he was in New England.
Yeah.
Do you put down the line guys on special teams, or do you just put your horses out there and you want your big dogs touching the ball as many times as possible? Like, in effect, should that be Calvin Austin back there? And
well, I think the high propensity for injury on, you got 2 guys running full speed at each other. I'm not sure I'd want my best guys back there. not my best guys, because that indicates that there are people that are not good. I
Right.
don't mean it that way. I'm talking about starters, non-starters. I don't. So far, the rookie that made the mistake, he's not impressive at this point, nor do I expect him to be. But he's also not a speed demon, which I think, in that role as a receiver, a kick receiver, I think you have to be a speed demon. I mean, I see guys catch the ball and they fly. They don't hesitate. They don't go to the left. They don't go to the right. They just fly.
And
And
the inverse to that argument is this: when the Steelers were at their best, maybe special teams, they had Antonio Brown taking punts back.
they did, and that is a fact, and that contradicts everything I just said.
But no, it doesn't contradict. It's just two very distinct roads that you can take.
It is, but do we? So there's an interesting question in there. As time goes on, do we appreciate Antonio Brown more?
No, because he's such a weird phenomenon because
he's a polarizing force.
Well, sure. He's done his own polarizing. That's number one. The more he does off the field to sully his own reputation, he serves to make people forget how great of a football player he was.
He does, but he was a great football player.
Listen, other than Mike Webster, who might challenge him, the Steelers have never had, when you look at it in relation to every other person who's ever played that position in the history of the game, they've never had a player as good offensively.
No, and I agree with that.
Him and Mike Webster are the only two.
And I think Zach Frazier is going to surpass Mike Webster. I really do. Yeah, you watch. You'll see. Maturity. But I feel sorry for Antonio Brown because I like him. And it's probably crazy and not popular to say that. I always go back to the time when he came to my car and said, "Is that your son?" My son Richie and him were playing 2-on-2 against two other guys. And he was just kind and generous. And I mean, he was a nice guy.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Remember, I had him in a car that, so he was a spokesperson for a while, and then he wasn't any longer. So I kind of knew him a little bit. But that night when I sat in my car to pick up my son, and he came to my car to talk to me about him, I mean, that really impressed me. And so I feel sorry for him. I understand. I've done radio shows with it's his wife, maybe. I've done radio shows with her. She's lovely. So I feel sorry for him. And when I take that and put that with the talent that he has, man, I hope everything's okay with him. I haven't heard from him for a long time.
Well, he can't come back to the country.
Why?
He has a arrest warrant.
Is he out of the country?
He's been in Dubai and the UAE for.
Well, being in Dubai is like being in a palace. I mean, why
right.
would he come back from there?
He's been there for months. He can't come back.
Why would you want to, though?
I agree with that if he can. But it's just when you talk about football only.
You're talking about football only. I watched the clips. I watched them on Instagram. I watched the man was. He was really talented.
There was a 4-year period where you could make a claim he was the best player in football.
I can't remember that far back, probably, but I trust you because I thought he was. So anyway, that was my side path to Antonio Brown. These Pittsburgh Steelers have the ability to be anything they want. We have the talent. We definitely have the talent. We have the ingredients. It's like baking a cake.
Mm-hmm.
We have all the ingredients. They're right there on the table. Now, if I take 2 cups of flour, the recipe calls for 2 cups of flour, and I put 3 in, or I only put 1 in, I'm not going to get that cake the same way. So it's the way we use those ingredients, I think, and let's see what happens. I'm still excited about them.
Yeah, I'll wait until after the Ireland trip, I think.
You know what, by the way, I don't understand that either. I know the NFL is trying to make us international and global and all that. Just think about this. They're going to leave on Thursday to go to they're going to come back right after the game.
Okay.
Your body takes a beating with the jet lag. I mean, it really does. That just I don't know. If I were a player, I'd be grousing and complaining about it.
I think it's silly to try to grow this game internationally and play these one-offs.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know what it does more for. It does nothing for the individual teams. It's solely a money grab for the league.
It is.
And the players are pawns, and it does nothing safety-wise.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And in the past, they've had a lot of questions when they've played internationally about field conditions.
That's an interesting point. We're going to see. We're still fans. We still sit and watch every week. We still, they're still our heroes. They're still the Pittsburgh Steelers. And what do you think this week?
They're going to beat New England on a last-second field goal. It's going to be the same old, the Steelers recipe. So what's going to happen? They're going to come out. They'll have a good first drive. It'll end in a field goal, though. It'll stall. Then the game will go back and forth, and everybody will scream at Tomlin. Then they'll win something like 20-18 on a last-second field goal that Boswell kicks and saves the day.
I say differently.
Okay.
I say blowout.
In New England.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Blowout. I say by 2 touchdowns minimum. I say Aaron Rodgers and DK finally perform to the way they can. I see it. I'm telling you, I see it. I see that middle. I said it last week. I'll say it again. That middle is so wide open. And I love that slant, that quick slant. And that could be Calvin Austin across there. But I see blowout.
Hey, real quick before we go, what do you think of the latest from Belichick? Is this a maverick move, or is he hurting himself and other people? Did you hear about the North Carolina, New England situation that's happening?
I don't think I did.
I'll run this past you very succinctly. He's the coach at North Carolina.
That's right.
New England Patriots have scouts. They wanted to come in and look at North Carolina kids.
Okay.
He said, "You're not allowed in the facility." Any other scout could come into North Carolina, and he's not real welcoming like most colleges are, but here and there, they could come in and look at film. New England coaches are barred from coming in.
That's ridiculous.
They asked Belichick, how come? And he said, they've told me I'm not welcome in the New England Patriots facility, so they're not welcome in my facility. Doesn't it hurt the North Carolina players?
It hurts the players. It hurts the administration. It hurts everything. That's bullshit.
I agree.
That's bullshit. Get your head out of your ass, buddy.
I'm with you.
You know what? Seriously, get your head out of your ass, Bill. You're not that good. Okay? And I don't care how good you are or were. You're not that good.
Sometimes you're self-serving.
Not that good, Belichick. You're an ass.
Your self-serving ways get in the way and they hurt other people. And that's
he doesn't have the right to do that to those players. He does not have the right to do that.
This is going to end in disaster at North Carolina.
It's horrible. This whole girlfriend thing is ridiculous.
I mean, she's on the field when he's calling plays.
It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Come on,
jeez. All right. I wanted your take on that. I like it.
You have it. Bill, you're an ass.
I think that's a good note to end on.
In case you didn't hear it here, I'm going to ask Kara to give me a snippet on this on Instagram. Bill Belichick, you're acting like an ass. If that's true, let me quote
it is.
If it's true, what you just told me, that he has banned all New England scouts from his facility to view tape, to interview their players, if he has absolutely done that, then Bill Belichick, you need to resign because you're hurting everybody. You're helping you. That's fulfilling your ego, right? You have the power. You can do that. You're right. But can you do that and justify looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I stopped that young man. I prevented him from having an opportunity to meet and impress those scouts in New England. And this player really wants to play in New England because that was his hero. He wants to play in New England, but guess what? Not going to be able to see me because my coach won't let you in.
So what is he again?
Bill Belichick?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, let me think here. Wait, it's a word. Let me, how do I spell it? Ass. He's an ass.
Fair point. Have a good week.
Love you.